you created the different methods, no? For example, to update the phone number, to change the password. We did a couple of things, right? So we have to do, okay, something interesting here. Okay, we have to do something interesting. Okay, we have to design different APIs for different actions. Okay, in the Hibernate project now, so we have to create the different methods for different actions. But here we have to create different REST APIs. Okay, we have to create the REST API for everything. Okay, we have to create the REST API for login. We have to create REST API for sign up. Okay, we have to create REST API, no, to update the phone number, to allot the room, to add the features. Okay, all these things, to perform all these actions, we have to create the different REST APIs. Okay, so actually yesterday we created the 8 REST APIs. Okay, 8 REST APIs means basic CRUD operations. Classes చెప్తే చాలు రా కూడా వస్తాడు నాకు. When we started the class, no, definitely someone should disturb us. Okay, sorry. If someone disturbed me, I forgot the flow. Bloody. Okay, come on, Bhaskar, come on. Okay. So yesterday we created the 8 REST APIs, guys. Right? 8 REST APIs. That is a basic CRUD operations. Okay, for example, creation, read, update, delete. Okay, for both the room and both user as well. Okay. So we have created a project structure which is a very, very you know large structure. You can see we have the 10 different packages in our project, which is a HMS, which is the main package, and advice is used to, okay, handle the exceptions which is raised in the project, and the configuration to configuration the security and everything, and coming to the controller to handle the REST APIs and sending the response to the client and all. Okay, and DTO, we have a DTO to validate the data, and we have the exception. Okay, exception to throw new exception whenever some disturbance occur, whenever some error occurred in the project execution. And coming to the model, we need to create the different entities to be stored in the database. Okay, if you want to create a table in the database, you need to create the model for sure. That means entity. Model is nothing but entity. Okay, coming to the repository. Okay, so we are using data JPA, Spring Data JPA, to work with all the SQL methods and everything. So we need to create a JPA repository. So that's why we have the repository package. And coming to the service, okay, service in the service, okay, we can have the all the interfaces. Okay, for example, room service interface, user service interface, all these things we can perform, okay, to achieve data abstraction. Okay, and in the service implementation, we have to implement every method that we declared in the service layer. Okay, we have to implement every abstract method that we created in the interface in the service package. And coming to the utility package, okay, in the utility package we can add the some additional stuff. Okay, some additional stuff is nothing but, okay, to convert DTO into model, okay, to convert model into DTO. Okay, we can use this particular utility package to do the all the stuff. Okay, so here we are having almost 10 packages in our project. Okay, so obviously the project will be, the project flow will be the difficult to understand. So okay, please go through everyday task only. Okay, so if if I completed 8 REST APIs today, you have to complete those 8 REST APIs today only. Okay, don't postpone it to tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to add some more content to the project, right? So you will have an extra burden. So please complete the project every day. Okay, on the everyday basis you have to update the project, then only, okay, you will get some clarity on the project structure and project building. Okay, otherwise we are having 10 packages. Okay, you will forget what we wrote in that particular package, where we wrote that particular line of code. Okay, so when you are a full stack developer, when you are a Java developer, you have to, okay, maintain the clarity on the packages that you have created. Okay, you have to explain why you created that particular package. What are the content of the package? What are the different methods of that particular package? You need to explain that. Okay. So as a full stack developer, we have to take care our responsibility to know the architecture of the project. Okay, here, okay, we are using the Spring Boot project, and which is a very, very, very complex architecture. Okay, both Spring Boot along and Angular. The Angular architecture also very, very, very huge architecture Angular has. you know so when we are developing the Angular project, we have to work with lot of files. Okay, here we are working with 10 packages. There you have to work with minimum 50 files, 50 to 60 files at a time. So definitely the architecture is going to be more complexer, because we are developing that much of security application, that much of wide range of applications we are developing. Angular application, creation of Angular application is not an easy task. Creation of a Spring Boot application is not a easy task, right? So we have to take care about the every line of code. We have to take care about the security and everything. So okay, I know you can build the project, but you have to get the clarity on the architecture of the project. How many packages we should create, how many classes we should have in the packages, how many interfaces we have, how many methods we have, which line of code is existed in which package. Okay, you have to, okay, know each and every line of code in your project architecture. Okay, to understand that particular structure, you have to complete the project on everyday basis. Then only you can succeed. Okay, so as per our target, we have to complete the project by Thursday, right? We can complete the project by Thursday. If you okay, so by the Thursday or Friday, we can start the front end. Sorry. Okay, so here we have the package structure. Let's see what are the different classes that we have. Okay, this is the controller. In the controller we have two controllers, which is a room controller, which is a user controller. And in the DTO also we have user DTO and room DTO. And in the exception we have one exception. And in the model we have two models, I mean two entities. And in the HMS repository, that means repository, we have two repositories. And we have those two service interfaces. And we should have two service implementations. We have two service implementation classes. In the utility, okay, in the utility package we have value mapper, which is going to convert DTO into the model. Okay, so all these things we have created yesterday. Okay, so first let me start with the model. Okay, just we have to revise the concept once. Okay, after revision of the concept we can go. Okay, so so first, okay, if you are explaining any projects to anyone, so first you need to start with the model of the package, I mean model of the project. That means entity. That means you have to explain the table, what are the different columns of your project and all. Okay, so here we have mainly user model, and we have the room model as well. So everything is fine, but my laptop is not fine. I hope it will work tomorrow, today. I removed a lot of stuff in the laptop. Definitely, it should work perfectly. Hello, excuse me. Please work. Okay, so this is the user entity. Okay, you can see user has so many things. And here we implemented many to one relationship. That means many users can be alerted to one room. Okay, so many to one relationship. And here you can see we have room model, and room model has the three columns, which is a room ID, name, type. Okay, Okay, this is the model, and we performed some, some data validations on the DTO as well. You are not allowed to write, data validations in the entity. Okay, what is the full form of DTO? Anyone? What is the full form of DTO? No, we don't know.
Data transfer object.
Data transfer object, very good. So here we are performing some validations on the user entity. Okay, and it is checking my patience. Before starting the class only, it is working perfectly. Hey, come on. I'm not doing any machine learning, dude. Come on. It's just a basic Java. In this particular laptop, okay, I created data science project, I created machine learning projects, I have so many things in the laptop, but I don't know why, what happened suddenly to this laptop. Okay, so this is the user DTO and we have the room DTO as well. Okay, this is the room DTO. We perform some, data validations for the room as well. Okay, so, and we created the service implementation, user service implementation and room service implementation in the both room service and user service. Okay, we created the 4 different methods, but that means we created the, okay, crowd, methods for the basic crowd operations, that means creation, read, update, delete. Okay, to add the user, to retrieve the users, okay, to update the user, to delete the user. We created the same methods in the room service as well. You can see room service as well. In the room service also I created the same methods here. Okay, you can see user u2 equal to value mapper dot converter. Okay, I am converting, okay, DTO object into room object, because room DTO is not going to store in the database, right? So we have to store the entity only. So that's why I am converting DTO into entity. Okay, I am converting DTO into entity. So conversion of DTO into entity. Okay, we implemented in the value mapper. You can see, okay, user ut equal to new user so and so. Okay, here we are working with all argumented constructor. Okay, in the when we created the user entity and room entity, we have mentioned all argument constructor and no argument constructor, right? So by using this all argument constructor method, I am converting the DTO object into the user object. Basic entity object. Okay, by using the all argument constructor, we are converting DTO into entity. Remember this, it is very important question. Okay, in many interviews, no, in the interviews they may ask you about this particular point. Okay, so how you can convert DTO object into entity object? How you can convert by using the all argumented constructor? We can convert our DTO object into normal entity object. Okay, remember that point. Okay, this is the DTO and sorry, value mapper. And now let's check with the room controller and user controller class. Okay, this is the controller. Okay, we have mentioned so many things in the controller. Okay, that means request controller, request mapping, so on. So, and here you can see, okay, we are using response entity to send the response to the client. Okay, to send the response to the client, we are using response entity. Okay, so we have the four methods here: get, add, update, and delete. And we forgot one thing. Did you observe this? Okay, when we are deleting the element, when we want to delete one particular user from the database, we need to use their id, right? So id comes from the path variable, but I didn't mention any path variable in the delete mapping. We have to mention the path variable for sure. Here, user id we have to mention. Path variable is very important. Without the path variable, how you can delete the element, right? So we have to mention the user id here. That is a path variable. Okay, here we mention na user id coming from the path variable, not from the request body. Okay, and the room controller also. I think in the room controller also we missed this. Let's check. Okay, in the room controller, let me check with the delete method. Yeah, here also we are using the path variable to delete the room, but I didn't mention the room, I mean path variable, room id. Okay, the path variable is very important, guys, remember. Okay, we have the four REST APIs here, and we have the four methods in the service layer also. Okay, now we can try to insert some data. Now you can try to insert some data. Okay, shall we do that? Okay, I actually yesterday only we have to do this, but okay. So due to my laptop issue, we were unable to check the methods. Okay, we were unable to check the method working and all. So today we can check with the methods and everything. But okay, I don't want to use the postman to check. Okay, I don't want to use the postman to check. Okay, I want to use the Swagger. Okay, we have the Swagger API. Na? By using the Swagger API, I want to check the REST APIs how they are performing. Okay, so to do that, okay, so if we want to work with Swagger na, so how many dependencies we need to add and what are the dependencies? If I want to work with Swagger, how many dependencies that we need to add and what are those? Anyone?
Two dependencies, sir.
Okay.
Two dependencies, Swagger UI and one more.
And
Swagger 2.
Swagger 2, and which is from, who is the vendor for Swagger? Spring Fox. Swagger 2 Maven dependency. Okay, we have to use a Spring Fox Swagger. Here you can see Spring Fox Swagger. Okay, this is the Spring Fox, and let's use the most used one. Okay, 2.912. You can see the users for 2.9.2 is 897, so we can use this. Copy this and paste this in the form.xml. Alright, yeah. So we need to add the dependency here. Okay, we can add here. Okay, and it will build. And we need to add another one, Swagger UI also. Swagger UI. It's for Swagger UI from Spring Box only. Okay, you have to use the same version, 2.9.2 only. Okay, copy this and paste it in the pom.xml again. I think we have to wait until its completion. It's too irritating, no? Okay, I want to close it. I want to reopen the Spring Toolsuit. Okay, please bear with me for a few seconds. Not few seconds, few minutes, I think so. How many of you started the project, guys? Did you started the Spring?
So today I will be starting my project.
Okay. Within 3 days we have to complete. That's our target. Okay. That's the deadline. Deadline is what to do. Rahul, you created very good. Sahana also. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, try to complete on everyday basis. Okay. If you want to complete everything in one night, it will be a very, very, very difficult for you. Okay. So that's why please proceed with everyday wise, day wise concepts. I think it is loading. Just ಏನಾದ್ರು record. Please wait, guys. Okay, it is loaded. Paste it here. Spring UI. Okay, we did it. We added Swagger 2 and Swagger UA also. Now we can just launch our program. So run the main class. This is our main class. Run it. Some more methods we have to implement today, like to update the phone number, to allot the room. Okay, so these kind of methods we have to implement today. We can implement it. Oh, connection refused. What is connection? What connection? Okay, I think yes, I got it. I got it. SQL. We have to start the MySQL 8.0. So go to services and search for MySQL 80. I mean, we are using MySQL 8 now. So search for MySQL 8. Okay, this MySQL. Okay, start this. We are starting manually, right? So every time when you are restarted your system, you have to start your MySQL 8.0 for sure from the services. Okay, I think now we can relaunch the application. Okay, database is connected. Okay, now web server is started. Now you can open the Google Chrome to work with our favorite Swagger. Hmm. I think it will take some time to open. Arey Baba. We didn't get these kind of issues when we are designing sprint 1 or hibernate na. But when it comes to the spring, okay, it is lagging like hell. So here we can use our swagger ui.html. Hmm? Unable to infer base URL. This common when using dynamic serverlet registration. What happened to it? What happened? Unable to infer base URL. We are, we are getting some new types of errors, man. Are yaar. Okay. I think we have to enable the swagger, na? I forgot to enable the swagger. Maybe that's why we are getting some kind of issues. I mean, we added the swaggers now, but at the main class we have to enable the swagger too, right? Maybe that's why it is showing some issue with us. Well, let's enable the swagger. Vaishnavi Bharadwaj. I don't know who is she. From Delhi. Yeah. Okay, here we have to enable the swagger, guys. We enable swagger too. यार, it is irritating.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, I think you have to second laptop. You have to program this
Mm.
and through the any disk, sir.
Oh,
Anyone? Yes, sir.
any desk.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
any desk will lag like a hell, man.
Okay.
It is not working for Spring Toolsuit, but you are asking for any desk. Spring Toolsuit is very lighter than the any desk. Okay. Now just refresh the page. Okay. I think that is the only issue. I forgot to enable the swagger. I'm losing my patience.
Sir, something added for the properties file.
I think I added yesterday only. When I added the MySQL properties, no, I added
Yeah,
this.
it's working.
Now we have the room controller and user controller. Okay, thank God for that. Now you can see the number of models that we have. Okay, number of models, room DTO, room, user DTO, and user. Okay, so and so we have. Okay, now I want to add just I mean one room or two rooms. Okay, I want to add the rooms. So here you can use the post room, post add room. Okay, click on the try it out. So we can try it out here. So here we can give some data. Okay, 102 is the room. Shadri, and which is AC. Actually, I think I tried to add one room yesterday, so that's why I'm using 102 here. Okay, just execute it. Okay, you can see. Okay, response body. This is the response body. Okay, we have the response body. Description is okay. Okay, let's retrieve the data. Okay, let's retrieve the number of rooms. Room get. Okay, here we will get the list of rooms. Okay, try it out and execute. Okay, let's see how many rooms we are getting. Okay, see, you can see. Okay, we are getting two rooms. 101 is Garudadri, 102 is Sheshadri. Okay, I mean I added 101 yesterday only. Okay, now we are having second room. Okay, so okay, it is working with addition and retrieve, right? So let's delete the room. Okay, so I want to delete one particular room. Okay, so try it out. So 102. Okay, I want to delete room number 102 and execute this. Let's check whether we are can delete or not. Yes, deleted. You can see we got response body as a deleted. Okay, now if you can retrieve now. Okay, if you can retrieve now, so execute again. Now we are getting only one room, 101 Garudadri. Okay, now I just want to update the room. Okay, so I just want to update the room. Okay, so room number. Okay, I want to update the 101. Okay, which is Garudadri. Okay, non AC. Okay, which is non AC room, and click on the execute. Okay, something is done. Now try to retrieve the data. Execute. Okay, now you can see Garuda 3 is non-AC. Okay, Garuda 3 is updated successfully. Okay, so we checked every REST API of the room. Okay, this is the room controller. Now let's check with the user controller. Let's try to add some user and try to retrieve some users. Okay, so here we are. I'm trying to add the new user. Okay, so as of now, user email is something like chituri@anudip.org. Okay, user fees is 0. I don't know user fees, user ID, and string username chituri. Password is some batch 007. Okay, phone number 5724. User role user, or you can mention role underscore user, which is a perfect one. And I don't know the room numbers and all na, so I can add just null value. Okay, I can just add null value to this. Okay, null, that's it. Okay, now I want to execute this. Now you can get, okay, we are getting some bad request. Okay, okay, I think something is happening here. You can see the error. Mm, okay, validation failed for the argument 0. Okay, validation is failed somewhere. Okay, we can check the validation. What is the validation failed? Error user DTO on the user fees. Okay, user fees is actually cannot be null na, so that's why the validation is failed. Now we can add some fees to the user. Okay, some 2000 rupees. because I added validation to the user fees. Minimum fees is 1,000 rupees and maximum fees is 6,000 rupees, something like that. So that's why, okay, it is showing an issue. Okay, I mean, we have to handle the error because, okay, we are not handling any error as of now. Okay, so that's why, okay. So here you can see response body. Okay, so we got the response body perfectly. Okay, now just retrieve the data. Okay, we added the user. Na? Let's try to retrieve the user. Try it out, execute. Okay, here we are getting the user details. Perfect. Okay, now try to update the user details. Okay, try to update the user details. mm, it is very difficult to update the user details like this. Okay, we can just copy it, just copy the user details. Okay, we can paste it, copy it. Okay, now we can update, try it out. Okay, so I want to update my phone number here. It's a 0100 so and so. Execute. Okay, now you can see we are getting the perfect value. Okay, so now retrieve the data. Let's see whether we are getting the updated phone number or not. Okay, and click on the execute. Yes, phone number is updated successfully. Okay, if you want to check in the database, you can check in the database as well. Okay, let's see what are the things that happening in the database as well. 905 906. Use HMS Spring, I think so. Okay, select star from users. Okay, we have the Chituri. Okay, so this is a user, and select star from, okay, room as well. Okay, we have the one room which is 101. Okay, we have the room which is 101. Okay, as of now, as of now, we are not having anything in the user room or something. Okay, so now we need to update the user room details and everything. Okay, we need to update the user room details. Okay, so we have to, I mean, as of now it is working perfectly, but we need to do a lot of changes in the project, right? So the first change that we need to do is we have to handle the exceptions. Okay, actually we are getting the errors now while inserting some, some data. We are getting some errors and exceptions, right? So we have to handle those exceptions. Okay, how to handle those exceptions? By using exception handler code we can do that, and we are going to develop that now. Okay, and also we have to, okay, updates, I mean, we have to create many methods as well. Okay, to update the phone number, to actually, here you can see our user Bhaskar is not alerted to any room. Bhaskara is not alerted to any room. Now we need to write a one method to allot one particular room to the user. Okay, we need to write a method to allot one particular room to the user. Okay, so we need to do all these things. So here, okay, here, you know, um, we have to create different methods in the service layer, and we have to consume those methods in the controller also. Okay, so let's do that. As of now, first let me complete the exception handler. Okay, so in which package we have 10 packages now? In which package we have to write the code for exception handler, ma?
Advice.
We have, yes, we have the 10 packages. Okay, in the 10 packages, okay, we have to write the exception handler code in the advice. Okay, here we have to write it. Okay, open this exception handler.java. Okay, here we have to write the code for exception handler. Tell me what are the code, I mean, what are the important things in the exception handler? Did you remember anything? How to start it?
Class level annotation. REST
Okay,
control advice.
very good. That is very, very important. The controller advice. Very good. So this and next, what to do? Anyone?
Response status.
Response,
Status.
which is a class level annotation or method level annotation?
No, no, sir. It's a code.
I'm asking that. I mean, response status, na? You are saying response status is a annotation, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which is the class level annotation or method level annotation? Where do I write
Method
this?
level.
Okay, very good. So response status. Hmm. So what is the response status? Maybe we will get either internal server error mostly, right? So we can mention internal server error. HTTP status dot internal server error. It should suggest us. Okay, internal server error. This is the response status I want to mention. Okay, then we have to use the exception handler also, right? Exception handler. Okay, so when we have to handle the exception, what is the name of the exception that we want to handle? What is the name of the exception that we want to handle? Do you know the name of the exception?
Method.
Actually, here, so here we are getting one error. You can see one exception. Here you can see, okay, method argument not valid exception. Here we are getting one new exception, na? Method argument not valid exception. So this is the name of the exception that we want to, okay, handle. Okay, this particular method argument not valid exception will raise whenever the data not satisfied with DTO. Okay, so here we have to handle this method argument not valid. Argument not valid exception dot class. Okay, this is the method. This is the exception that we want to handle. Now we need to create a method to handle this exception. Okay, so here, okay, I want to send the response as a map format. That means, okay, key value and value, key and value pairs. Okay, I want to send the messages in a key value format. For example, if user fees is okay, violating the validations, then we have to mention user fees is must be in so and so. Okay, so we want to handle those things. Okay, so here we can use the map to maintain the key value pairs. Okay, to maintain the key value pairs. So here both values are string values. Okay, we don't have any integer type of columns. No? So that we have only string type of columns only, and messages also will be just string. So that's why I'm using the strings in the map. Okay, so here handle any method handle invalid exception or invalid argument, we can write invalid argument. So here we have to read this particular method as a parameter. This particular method, I mean exception as a parameter, sorry. Exception EX. Okay, exception yes. So we have to import everything, import response status and exception handler also. And import the map. Import the map from utility package, not from the Spring. Okay, here we have to create a one map first, then we can handle the errors. I mean, we can push the errors into the map. Okay, error map equal to, okay, new hash map I want to create, guys. Okay, either you can create a tree map or hash map. Okay, but there is some issues with the tree map. That's why we are using the hash map to do this. Okay, now we can handle the errors. Okay, how do you handle the errors? By using this parameter ex. By using this parameter ex, we can handle the errors. Okay, so ex dot, okay, ex dot get binding results is a method which is going to catch the errors. Okay, this particular method will catch the all the exceptions. Okay, and we have to get the messages also, na, with field errors. Field errors. Errors or error. Okay, field errors. Now we have to catch them, na. No, we have to catch them. So I don't want to catch it, I want to mention all these messages, all these errors into the error map that we created. So here we can use the for each to do the task. Okay, for each. Okay, error, whenever we are getting a new error. Okay, so we want to add that new error to the error map. Okay, so error map dot put. So put. Okay, here error dot get field. Okay, first of all we will get the field where we are getting the error, and we will get the message what we are getting. Error get default message. Yes, default message. This is the thing. Now okay, we are creating the errors in the error map. Now we need to okay return the error map. We need to return error map. That's it. Okay, so in this way we have to do the task. Okay, now just try to relaunch the application. Let's try whether we are getting the values or not. Okay, now go back our swagger. Okay, so here I want to add some laptop, or we can add some users. Okay, we can add some users. Hmm, just refresh this user controller. Okay, I want to try this out. Okay, so here you can add some data. Okay, I am missing the email. Okay, Chitturi or Bhaskara. Here we can write Bhaskara.org. Okay, so I'm missing the email, but I'm giving perfect user fees, and two is the username, sorry, user ID. Username will be BS. Okay, and the password will be BS. Phone number is something like this. Okay, not a 10 digit number. Okay, I added 12 digits. Okay, string, I mean role is role underscore user. Okay, and the room ID. Okay, I don't know the room, so that's why I'm mentioning room ID as a null. Rooms as a null. Okay, now execute this. Now you can see the list of errors that we are having. User password must patch so and so. Okay, user phone number must match this request. User email must be well formed email address. Okay, we made three mistakes in the data that we are passing, and we are getting those three values here. Okay, this is how you have to validate the, I mean this is how you have to handle the exceptions. Okay, DTO is going to validate the data, and if you missed anything, okay, if you missed the violations, okay, if you raise any violations on the DTO, then we have to catch those violations. Okay, so these are the violations that we performed. Okay, this is how we have to handle the exceptions, I mean errors. Okay, is this clear for everyone? Guys, is this clear or any
Yes,
doubt?
sir.
Okay. What about others? Is everything okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually, okay, to just update the phone number only, we are entering all this data. Na? So now I want to create a one method to update the phone number. I want to create a separate API to update my phone number. Okay, so based on some details and all. Okay, so let's create that. Okay, so and before creating, just give me 2 minutes. I will come back in 2 minutes. Okay, then we can implement that. Okay, sorry, I am back. Now we can implement more number of APIs. Okay, so number of APIs. The first API we are going to implement is to update the phone number. Okay, to update the phone number. Okay, so whenever we want to update the phone number of a particular user, okay, we have to use the ID of the user and also the phone number of the user. ID and phone number, right? So to do that, Mm, we can do something. Okay. Where is user service implementation? This is the user service implementation. Okay. Before implementing in the user service, we have to mention it in the interface, right? User service interface. And let's close everything. We have so many things. Yeah? Let's close everything. Okay. So this is the user service interface where we are having all the abstract methods, and this is the service implementation, and also we need to work with user controller, okay, to create the API, right? So user controller, we need these three things now. Okay, now I want to create a new method in the service layer, okay, which is, sorry, public, okay, string update phone number. Okay, update phone number. So where we can read both user ID and phone number, string phone number. Okay, this is the method. Okay, and also we can throw some global exception if needed. If user is not found, we can throw some global exception as well. Okay, so this is the method, and we have to implement this unimplemented method. Click on the unimplemented methods. Okay, this is a method where we have do. Okay, so okay, to do this particular task we need to change something in the repository as well. Okay, we need to change something in the repository as well. Okay, so here where is the user repository? We need a repository to of the user repository. Okay, so actually we are having some methods in the user repository right now, right? So here, okay, just I mean, tell me what is the SQL query. Okay, tell me what is the SQL query, okay, to update the phone number of a specific user. Just tell me what is the SQL query to update the phone number of the user. Anyone? Okay, for example, okay, here we have the user na. So I want to change the phone number of Bhaskara, I mean Chuturi. Okay, how to change the phone number of Chuturi? Tell me the user query.
Update users
Update
set
user, very good, set
phone number, user phone
user on the phone. Hmm?
is equals to the value you want to fill, where
Where
user ID is equals to 1.
user ID equal to given number, right? So this is how we need to do. Okay, so here we are getting one row is affected, that means it is returning some integer to us. Okay, so remember all these things. Okay, so this is the query we have to write, right? So here in this particular repository, okay, I want to create a new method int update phone number. Okay, int update phone number there. Okay, user ID comma and phone number. Sorry, I think user phone number is a string, right? String user phone. Okay, string user phone. Okay, this is the okay method. Okay, to use this particular method, we need a query, right? Okay, to work with this method, obviously we need a query. Okay, the query is, okay, here we need to write the query. Okay, value equal to, okay, update user, hmm, update user, set user phone. Okay, set user underscore phone equal to, okay, what is the value that we are getting? User phone, right? So you can mention colon user phone. Okay, both the variables are must be matched, ma. Remember, where user underscore id equal to given user id, given user id. Okay, this is how we need to write the query for this. Okay, this is the query for us. Okay, so here we added the query. Okay, we added the query, but here you can see, okay, whenever we are calling this particular update phone method, okay, we are modifying the data. Okay, we are modifying the data, right? So here we need to mention modifying. Okay, we are modifying the data, right? We are modifying the data by using repository, so you have to mention modifying annotation for sure. Okay, and also whenever we are doing some changes, okay, whenever we are doing some changes to the database, obviously we need a connection. Okay, we need a set of things like, entity manager we need. Okay, so we need a set of things in the jpa, right? So to do that, we have to add another annotation, which is a transactional. I forgot the spelling, I think so. Transactional, transactional, I hope. Okay, transactional we have to mention. Yes, transactional from transaction annotations. Okay, that's it. Okay, now we can use this particular update phone number method in the service implementation. Okay, we can use this method to perform service implementation. Okay, so first, okay, I mean, first I will check whether the user is, available in the database or not. Okay, or we can update directly. Okay, we'll do something, int status equal to, int status equal to, uh, what is a repo, user repo dot, okay, update phone number. Update phone number, where we have to mention user id and phone number for us. Okay, if st equal to 1, okay, then phone number updated successfully. So here I can return one success message, return updated. Okay, else, okay, we can throw the error. Okay, throw new global exception. I think g small global exception, something went wrong. This is the error I want to mention, and here mention the semicolon, and mention the semicolon. Okay, and remove the null. Okay, so this is the method that I want to do. Okay, so actually you can see this user update phone number. Okay, update phone number is returning integer to us, and based on that particular integer status, okay, if it returns 1, that means user is found, and the password, I mean the phone number is updated successfully. So here, okay, here I'm doing something. Okay, if st equal to the 1, that means if status equal to 1, okay, that means the phone number updated successfully. I am sending the updated, string to the controller. Okay, if not, if we get any other value other than 1, that means some global exception may occur. Okay, so this is the method to work. Okay, now in the controller we have to implement the method. We have to implement the method. So where it is going to close. Okay, so here, okay, okay, here I have to use put mapping because we are updating the data. Okay, whenever we are updating the data, okay, update, or we can mention phone. Okay, so here we have to expect two path variables, one is id and another one is phone number. One is id and another one is phone number. So here we have to write the controller public response entity, response entity string. Okay, something like update phone number. Okay, so here we have to mention path variables. Okay, path variable int id path variable string phone. Okay, we need to read these two things from the path. Okay, now here, okay, we can mention something. Okay, string, or we can directly mention the thing. Okay, return new response entity. Okay, string. Here we can call the method service dot update phone number. Okay, update phone number where id comma phone number, and also http status code. Okay, and this particular method may raise some exception, no, so we have to declare, throws the exception, add throws declaration. Okay, something is done. Okay, now you can relaunch the application to work with this method. Relaunch this. Oh, server is failed to start. Why? Okay, it is already in use. Okay, just relaunch them. Okay, server started. Now you can refresh the Swagger UI to get the new API, new API endpoint. Okay, just refresh the Swagger. Okay, just wait. Okay, in the user controller we have added the new API, right? So you can see the new API. Okay, update phone number. Okay, so update the phone number. Okay, try it out. Okay, so here we have the descriptions for ID and phone number. Let's see what is the ID of the user. Okay, ID of the user is 1. Okay, I want to update the phone number of first user, and what is the phone number? 905 906 5724. This is the phone number I want to update. Okay, actually it is, you can see 850 so and so, but I want to update the some new number. Okay, execute. Okay, you can see updated message. Okay, we got the update message. Now just try to fetch the user. Now you can see. Okay, so 905 906 phone number is updated to the user. Okay, we successfully updated the user phone number. Okay, guys, the method to update the phone number, we are working with repository service controller. Okay, you can see the message in the service. Sorry, this is the repository. Okay, so we used 3 different annotations in the repository, which is transactional, modifying, and query. Okay, you already well aware of this query, but these modifying and transactional are the new what can I say, new annotations. Okay, so here by using this particular method, we are updating some data, we are changing the data of the database. So that's why we need to have the entity manager and so and so. Okay, we need to get a connection to the data, we need all the permissions to do the changes, right? So transactional annotation will get the all the permissions and all the methods to work to update the data in the database. Okay, and coming to the modifying, okay, we are modifying the data of a one particular row which is already existed in the database. Okay, we are modifying the one row which is already existed in the database, so that's why we are using modified annotation. Okay, so this is how you need to work with the repository. And coming to the service layer, in the service layer, okay, we are reading the okay user id and phone number from the user, and we are sending that particular okay user id and phone number to the repository method, and it will return one integer if it is a success. Okay, if it is a success, it will return 1 or 0 or something, right? So based on that particular thing, okay, we are validating the, I mean, action. If the status equal to 1, that means query updated successfully, so that's why I'm sending updated return message. If not, if the query is not perfect, okay, I'm sending the something went wrong message. I'm raising the global exception. Okay, as of now, let's try to okay work with this global exception. Okay, I want to update the phone number of second user which is not existed in the database, right? So just execute. Let's try what will be happen, what will be the output. Okay, you can see internal server error occurred. Internal server error occurred. Actually, we have to handle the error, na? We have to handle those exceptions, na? So you can see we are having all these exception here. Okay, we got the exception in the console, something went wrong. Okay, but we need to print this particular message in the Swagger. Okay, we have to mention this particular message in the Swagger, not in the console, right? So how to do that now? Okay, we are getting something went wrong message in the console, but I want to display that particular message in the Swagger, not in the console. Okay, what to do now? Tell me what to do.
Sir, handle the exception in exception handler.
We have to add some code in the exception handler as well. Okay, so here we are actually, here you can see we are validating the method argument not valid exception. Now we have to validate the global exception. We have to validate global exception. So let's handle that error. Okay, same thing we need. Okay, again we need a response status and exception handler for sure. Copy this and paste this. Okay, here in the place of method argument, we have to use global exception. Okay, global exception is the exception name, right? So you can see the exception in the console. Okay, global exception. This is the exception. So we are handling that exception only. Global exception dot class. Okay, we need to write a method name and all. Okay, same public. We need a map to handle the errors. String, handle global. Okay, any method you can mention. Okay, here you can mention global exception G. G is the global exception. Okay, and import this global exception from the exception package. Okay, again we need to create the new error map. New error map. Now, okay, we need to push the data to this particular method. So how to push the data? So error map dot put. Okay, here we can directly mention the thing error. Okay, and here we can mention the get message ex dot, sorry, it is ge, right? Ge, that is the exception dot get message. Okay, here we can get the message. Return error map. Okay, so we are returning the error map. That's it. Okay, so here we are handling the error. Now let's try to do relaunch the application. 1 minute, guys. బిందు ఒక 15 minutes లో చేస్తాను. Okay, now let's try to insert some wrong data in the update phone number. Okay, so I want to update the phone number of third user. Okay, let's try to execute this. Now you can see the issue. Okay, here we are getting error, something went wrong. Okay, now you can see we are not getting anything in this, we are not getting anything in the console because we handled the error. Okay, we handled the error, that's why nothing is displayed in the console. Okay, so you can see the error in the swagger. Okay, this is how we have to handle the exceptions. I am a vegetarian, but this code something. Okay, sorry. So yeah, this is how we have to handle the exceptions and everything, guys. Let's have a look on the exception handler. This is the exception handler. Okay, as of now we worked with every package except this config, except this configuration. Okay, we worked with every package. You can see every package we touched, utility, including utility package also we worked with every package. That's how we have to build the project. Okay, simultaneously we have to work with the files. After designing this file I can move to the another file, after designing this file I can move to that particular file. No, don't do that. Okay, so you have to design the project simultaneously, you have to work with simultaneously the files. Okay, so we worked with 9 different packages as of now. 9 different packages. See how we are segregating the code. Okay, so this is very important, guys. Okay, so is this okay? Are you understood, guys? We implemented updated phone number along with exception handling. Is this okay to everyone? Any confusion or any issue? No? Not understand it? Guys, what happened? Hello, are you there? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Priyanshu, what happened? Is this okay? Priyanshu, Rupa,
Yes, sir.
Ketan, Ganesh,
That's okay.
Ganesha, Preeti, Chaitra, Gunjan, Nishant, everyone. Is this okay? Updating the phone number.
Yes, sir.
This is a
Yes,
kind
sir.
of different kind of method. Okay. Actually, okay, this repository, okay, we are working with repository for the first time, I think so. Right? So we created the methods like find by username, find by ID, those things we implemented, but this one is a different one, isn't it? Hmm? So it is very important. Please try to work it. Okay, work on these things. Okay, now we can have the break session. After coming from the break we can implement more methods. Okay, we can implement the method to update the fees of the user and to add the room, to allot the room, and to perform login also. Okay, we can do all these things. Okay, updating the fees, allot the room, update the phone number. So now phone number is done, login, we can perform the login then. Okay, we can create the 3 more REST APIs today. Okay, so that's more than enough. Okay, so I think we implement, even after completion of those things, no, we implemented more than 10 APIs, right? So that's more than enough for the project. Okay, otherwise we can implement 2 or more APIs. Okay, so almost we have to implement around 15 APIs in the project. Okay, is that okay? 15 or 14 or those kind of things. Those that's are okay. Okay, guys, this is how we need to write the custom query to do the changes in the database. Okay, you are not allowed to write anything, any SQL query in the business layer. You have to write all the SQL queries in the repository only. Okay, see, in the service layer, I'm not writing any SQL query. You can see there is no SQL query in the service layer. Okay, you can't do that. But here we have the repository where we are having every SQL statement. Okay. So as of now, just give me a moment. I will update the code in the GitHub. In the meanwhile, in the break time, you can just review the code. If you are having any issue, you can let me know. Okay. HMS with Spring, Hostel Management System with Spring. Guys, are you getting the Spring Boot? What is your feeling about the Spring Boot? Is everything okay, or anything confusion or heavy? Tell me. What is your genuine review on my teaching with Spring Boot? Tell me, how is it? Is it okay or confusing or heavy? Anything. Reviews are always welcome. You can review. Updated APIs with Swagger. Hello, suggestions are always welcome. Please do some suggestions to me. Anything to change, anything to update, or is it okay? It will update in the meanwhile. We can look at GitHub code. I think I opened Stack Overflow. GitHub in it. I think it will take time. Okay, updated. Okay, find my repository. I will send it to you. Two commits happened till now. So HMS CRUD is the basic, basic project, and we updated more APIs with the Swagger. Come on, what's up? Think I can update it. No need of WhatsApp. I can do it from mobile also. Okay. I send the links in the your WhatsApp groups. Please have a look on it. Okay. So if you are having any doubts, you can ping me. Okay. So now we can have the break for 15 minutes. Okay. Please come back at not 15 minutes today. Please come back at 12 o'clock. Okay. Yes, I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So we implemented many methods. Now this is the time to implement, okay, some more methods. Okay, so now I want to implement a one method, okay, to update the fees, okay, to update the fees of the user, okay, or we can so no, not a fees, okay, we can use the something like add new room to the user, okay, add new room to the user, okay, that means allotting the room, okay, allotting the room to the users, okay. How to do that? So we can do this, okay. So come on, let's do this.
Sir, all
Before
these APIs, add room and load room, are
Hmm.
come under the admin dashboard, no?
That will be the logical thing you have to do. So these are the different APIs, right? Okay, we are going to create a one front end with Angular, na? Okay, so there we have to consume these APIs. There is no need of admin dashboard. There is no need of user dashboard as of now in our application. Okay, so we have to create user dashboard and admin dashboard in the front end part. In the front end part, we have to validate the APIs. Okay, so there we have to create the user dashboards and we have to add some graphical user interface like forms and all. Okay, there we can implement, we can consume these APIs. Okay, as
Okay,
like
sir.
in the hibernate part, okay, we are not having any interface. Okay, in the hibernate we created the interface, like so select one for this, select two to do this, select three to do this, right? But in the spring boot we are not creating any interface. Okay, so in the Angular part we will create a one interface for the user dashboard and admin dashboard. There we can consume the all the APIs.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. As for now,
yeah.
we simply created those APIs.
APIs, simply creating the backend, no need of dashboard and all.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah. So now we have to implement, okay, one API to allot the room to the user, to allot room to the user. Now you can see this is the user table where user room ID is null. Okay, user room ID is basically null, right? So here we have to add the room to the user. Okay, how to do it? So here first of all we have to implement one method in the repository to do the task. Okay, we have to implement one method in the repository to complete the task. So here obviously we need a query and modifying so and so, but here let's add or allot the room, allot room method, allot room to the user. Okay, where we can take the two inputs, which is user ID and which is room ID. Okay, room ID and user ID we are going to take from the user. So here we can use these things for sure. By modifying and transactional, now we need to, okay, write the query. So here we have to write our own query. So I think I don't want to change everything now. You update user, okay, set user room ID. So here we have to use the complete column name, guys. This is the complete column name. You can see the complete column name here. User underscore room underscore room underscore ID. Okay, this is the room. Na? So here we have to assign the room. Okay, so what is the room ID? Room ID column room ID. Update user, set user room ID equal to, where user ID equal to user ID, so and so. Okay, this is how we need to write the one method in the repository. This is the method in the repository which is returning an integer to us, an integer to us. Okay, so here in the user service implementation we have to update the method, we have to design the method to allow the room. Okay, so before updating in the service implementation we have to write the method in the interface, na service level interface we have to implement the method, na. So here we can declare the method public string, okay, allot room to the user, where int user id is mandatory and also int room id is also mandatory. Okay, maybe there is a chance of exception, those exception, those global exception. This is the another thing, user service layer. Now we have to implement this method in the implementation of the service layer. Okay, just you can right click on this. You will get a add unimplemented method option. Add unimplemented methods. Unimplemented methods. So here we have to do this task. Okay, so int same int status equal to user repository dot we allowed the room where user id and room id are mandatory. Okay, here again same thing. Okay, I'll copy and paste this if else. Okay, here in the return message I can do something. Okay, room allotted to to particular user id. Okay, so this is what I want to print. Okay, that's it. Okay, now here, okay, this is the service implementation. Now in the controller we have to implement API for this method. Okay, let's implement the API. Obviously we are using the put option for sure. Okay, so put mapping slash allot user slash allot room slash, here we have to read the user id slash room id, user id and also the room id. Okay, we need to read two values from the user. Okay, so that's why now public response entity string. Okay, sorry, allot room, allot room. Okay, now here in the allot room we have to read the two variables, path variables, path variable, path variable user id and at the rate path variable room id. Okay, these are the variables that we need. Okay, now here we can simply return the element, return new response entity, service dot. Okay, obviously allowed the room where we can mention both user ids, I mean user id and room id with http message dot. Okay, and it is stuck up. Come on, yeah. Again it is stuck. Okay, we are returning the value. This one, and this particular method maybe will raise some exceptions, so we have to declare the exceptions. Okay, and it is showing some error, I don't know why. I am sending the data. I am returning the value, but still it is showing error. Why? Okay, it is gone. Okay, so here you can see, guys. Okay, so I mentioned the put mapping where allot room is the the mapping value and user id and room id. Okay, we have to give for sure, na. So in the allot room, okay, in the allot room you can see the path variable. Okay, we are reading user id and room id from the path variable, and we are calling the allot room method in the service layer. Okay, in the service layer we are calling the method of user repository. Okay, in the user repository we have allot room method and we are implementing that method in the service layer. Okay, so yes, I think we implemented everything. Now just relaunch the application. Go back to console. Just relaunch. Just wait. And we have to write the good comments. I didn't write any comments, I think so. Okay, please write the good comments. Proper comments is very, very, very important. You know that. Okay, just refresh the Swagger. Okay, so we have updated Swagger. Now you can see user controller we have. So basically, allot room, you can see the allot room here, user slash allot room slash user ID and room ID. Okay, we want to try this particular API na. So try it out. Okay, try it out. Okay, so we have room ID 101, I think so. 101 is the room ID, and I want to assign to the user 1. Okay, 101 to user 1. Now you can execute. Click on the execute. Now you can see what will happen. Okay, room allotted to first user. Okay, now let's see. Let's receive the data. Okay, I want to read the data. Okay, get users. Now we can see the user. Try it out. Execute. Okay, now you can see. Okay, room user ID 1 allotted to the 101 room. Basically, which previously it is an null, but now we assigned one room to the user, and the user room details will appeared here. Okay, user room details is appearing here. You can see. Okay, this is how you have to assign the values. Okay, so I think you got confused. Okay, now let's add the new room and let's add the new user. Now let's allot the new room to the new user. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I want to add the new room. You can see, I mean, how beautiful, how cool it is, now Swagger. How cool it is. We don't need any postman. We can do all these things in a single click. Okay, so postman is very difficult to compare. I mean, when we compare it to the Swagger, right? So here, let's add 102 room. అమ్మా చెప్పమ్మా. Shadri. You can mention room type is AC. Okay, and let's add this room to the database. Added successfully. You can see the response body. Okay, we got the room. Now in the user controller, I want to add the new user. I want to add new user. Okay, here you can mention the new user details. There. Okay. Priyanshu. Priyanshu. Okay, sorry. Priyanshu at gmail.com. Na? We have to mention the email. And user phase will be Priyanshu fees will be 1200. Okay, and user ID will be 2. And username will be Priyanshu. Okay, PS 12345. Okay, and user phone number something like this. role is basic user, role underscore user. Okay, and room details. Okay, he doesn't have any room details right now. Okay, we can assign the basic null, null to room, null. Okay, this is the user. Now click on the execute. Okay, value is executed successfully. You can see the message here, response body we got. That means value updated. Okay, if you want to see, you can see it in the dashboard. Okay, we have user to Priyanshu, whose room ID is null. Whose room ID is null. Basically, Priyanshu not elected to any room. Okay, Priyanshu not elected to any room. Now we want to allot one room to the user. I mean, one room to the Priyanshu. Okay. Now you can see when we are executing this task. When you are executing get users, you will get Bhaskar and you, I mean, Chitturi and Priyanshu. Chitturi is allotted to 101 room. So that's why room details is appearing here. And user room. Priyanshu is not allotted to any room. That's why user room is null. Okay, basically Priyanshu user, I mean, user room is null. Okay, now I want to assign, I want to allot one room to the Priyanshu. So here we can try it out. So 102, I want to assign to the user ID 2. Okay, execute. Okay, room allotted to 2. Okay, successfully room allotted. Now just read the data. Execute. When we are executing, now you can see Priyanshu is also got the room Shashadri AC. Okay, so it is updated dynamically. Okay, it is updated dynamically. You can see in the database as well. Okay, Priyanshu allotted to room number 102. Okay, so this is how you have to design the REST APIs. Okay, so which is very similar to the methods that we created in the Hibernate, but we are I mean, we converted one method into different topics. Okay, we converted one method of the Hibernate, divided into repository, divided into controller and service layer. Okay, one method of Hibernate project is converted into three Java classes. One is, repository, one is controller, one is service. See how it is happening, how minimalizing the code we are. Okay, so this is why we have to use the Spring Boot. Okay, it's very easy, na? Very easy compared to the Hibernate. But I know this is confusion, but it is very easy to use. Most of the people getting afraid of the Spring Boot, but actually no need to afraid. Okay, Spring Boot is very easy if you have a good practice and if you have a good trainer with you. Okay, if you have a good trainer, if you have a good practice with Spring Boot, then it is very easy. See, we are doing a cakewalk here. Guys, give me a moment. I want to close my door. I think it will be peaceful for me. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry for all the disturbances. This is the issue with the work from home. Okay, what we are discussing. We created, I mean, let's see how many APIs we created. How many APIs we created? Should you have a count? Okay, 6 APIs here in the user controller and 4 APIs here in the room controller. Okay, that's good. Not bad. No? Room controller and user controller. I mean, as of now, we implemented 10 APIs in the project. 10 APIs. You can see it in the Swagger. Okay. So please use the Swagger and please use the validations and everything. Okay, as of now, we implemented everything that we discussed till now in the Spring Boot. Okay. I mean, at the last, we can add some security concept. That's it. Security is not an issue here. Okay. And we have to add one more important API, that is login API. Okay. So how to perform, how to design the login API? Can you create the login API by yourself? Which is very similar to the allotting the new room. Okay, in the same concept you have to do. Can you do it, guys? Can you create a login API? So you have to read username and password from the path variable. Okay, and you have to write some important method in the, okay, you need to write only one method, that's enough. Okay, you need to write one method in the repository. Based on the result of repository, you can perform some data, I mean, you can perform some manipulation in the service layer, and you can consume the method of service layer in the controller, which is very similar to this particular alert new room. Can you do it to perform login? I have explained allotting the new room and adding the updating the phone number, and you can write a methods. I mean, you can write a APIs for updating the fees of the user. Okay, changing the password of the user. Okay, these kind of things you can do. Can you do it?
Yes, sir. We will try.
ಇದು MEI.
Okay. Ganesha, where are you? Yeah.
Sir, back to home on the
Okay.
way.
Okay. How is Goa?
Sir, 2 days enough for Goa, sir. 3 days it's boring.
Really? Oh.
Yes, sir.
What is that place? South Goa or North Goa?
Sir, North Goa, sir.
I think you can better to go to Gokarna as well, na, in the meanwhile.
Yes, sir. Everything after those things, sir.
Okay. Gokarna and Murdeshwar also on the way to Goa, right?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I have a planned another solo trip in this year, but I got the new opportunity, but I didn't have a time to complete the trip. In last year, I have completed solo Tamil Nadu and Kerala trip. I have planned for Karnataka. Karnataka needs a lot of dates to complete the trip. Na? We have Chikmagalur, Coorg, what else? So many things. Gokarna, Udupi, Murdeshwar, Hampi. So many things we have in Karnataka. At least we need a 15 days, I think so, to explore Karnataka. So that's why I didn't have time.
No, sir. We need at least 1 month of day.
Either controller class or service class or repository class. Which one you have to, complete? To test the Spring Boot application, we have to test only one particular class. I want to know that particular class. What is the particular class to test?
Service.
Yes, so obviously service layer we have to test it, no? Okay. Service layer is very important, and controller is a different thing. Okay, we can't test the controller. Okay, we have to test the service layer only, because in the service layer only we are doing all the important stuff, right? So in the controller we are not doing anything except the reading and responding. Okay, we are handling the request and we are sending the response to the user in the controller. And in the repository we are having the different methods to communicate with the database. But in the service layer we have the stuff, right? So that's why we need to test the service layer code in the JUnit. Okay, to do that, let's go to our editor. Let's try to implement some, I'm going to write only one test case or one or two test cases here. Okay, you can write the test cases as well in your code. Okay, this is the Spring application test. Okay, so in the service implementation, okay, for example, which method we can do? Okay, so I can so I want to check this particular thing. Okay, delete user. Okay, delete user. Okay, I want to delete some user. Okay, so I want to test this particular method in the JUnit. Okay, so let's rewrite the name, void test delete. Okay, test delete. So actually, for creating the test and everything, before creating the test case, we need to have the object of service implementation, right? We need to have the object of service implementation. So obviously we have to do some, dependency injection with service layer. Copy this dependency injection, paste it here. Okay, now we have the service layer. Okay, so here, where expected equal to string. Okay, expected equal to, I think we are sending deleted, na? Deleted. Deleted. Expected equal to deleted. Okay, let's see what is the actual data. Okay, where actual equal to, okay, service dot, okay, service dot delete user. Okay, delete user. So I want to delete the second user. I want to delete the second user. Okay, so maybe this is also throwing an exception. Okay, we can write in the try catch blocks for this. Okay. Okay, right, the stack trace. We are not having any logger as of now. Set same. Set same. Okay. Set the same. Okay, I am checking. So I am checking the two strings. Now we are comparing two different strings. Na? So here, expected, comma, actual. Expected, comma, actual. So we can do this in the try block only if it permits us. Okay, import the asset same from the JUnit. Asset same. Import asset same. Okay, actually, okay, I'm trying to delete one user from the database. Okay, that user is 2. Okay, now I'm checking the things. Okay, now test this test case with JUnit. Run this test case as a JUnit test case. One simple test case. Okay, very simple test case. Run this as a JUnit test. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Okay, I am writing this test case only for your information. Okay, you can create the test cases because we already created so many times. Okay, I don't want to repeat the test cases for you. You can do it. Okay, I just want to introduce the structure of the test case in Spring application. That's why. Let's wait. Let's wait. I think it is got stuck. Okay, so many things has to happen, na? Okay, you can see we got the green color. Okay, we got the green color. That means the test case is successfully passed. Okay, green color, that means test case successfully passed. Now I want to delete, okay, fourth user. Okay, I want to delete the fourth user who is not existed in the database. Okay, I want to delete the fourth user. Let's see what will happen. Okay, now the test case is going to fail because we are expecting deleted from the service layer, but it will raise some exceptions because user is not there. Hey, why it is passed? No, it should not pass. No. Something is happening. It should fail. Okay, it failed here. You can see the test case is failed here. User not found exception we got. Okay. But user not found. Okay. Okay. The test case has to fail, but here we are actually writing the thing in the try catch block now. So that's why let's try to prepare throws declaration. Okay. Now let's try. Yes, the test case is failed because global exception is occurred. That exception is user not found. Okay, user is not found in the database. That is why the test case is failed because delay. I mean, you for user. Okay, the for user is not existed in the database. Na fourth user is not existed in the database. Okay, we have only one user, but we are trying to delete. Okay, fourth user from the database. That's why the test case is failed. Okay, so this is how you can do. Okay, so this is the basic test case to perform the testing for Spring Boot application. Okay, and I am giving you the task. Okay, you have to complete all these methods. Along with, you have to complete two more methods. One is to update the fees to the user and to perform the login operation as well. Okay, if okay, you have to create a one, one API in the login. Okay, one API as a login. In the user controller, you have to create one API as the login. Okay, there you have to pass, okay, username and password in the path variable. Okay, based on the username and password, you have to print one message whether login is success or login is failed due to wrong password or something. Any message you can print or any exception you can print. Okay, but okay, if the log password is true, that means here you can see we have the username na? So I have the username Chitturi and Bachi 007. Okay, if I entered Chitturi and Bachi 007 as the path variables, you have to print login success. Okay, you have to print login success in the user, controller of the Swagger. Okay, so you have to create two REST APIs. One is to update the fees, one is to perform login operation and write the different test cases if possible. Okay, so majority of the project work is done. Okay, so we need to do some patchworks. Okay, we need to do some patchworks to the project. Okay, tomorrow we can do some patchworks to the project. Okay, after completing the project works, okay, we can start front end HTML and CSS and so on. So okay, we have a lot to learn, guys. Please hurry up. Please complete the project as early as possible. Okay, can you complete it by Thursday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at least I need 15 projects from you. Okay, at least I need a 15 projects for sure. Okay, so you can do whatever you want, but I need the output. I need the project. Okay, so 15 projects I'm expecting from this particular batch. Okay, so yeah, let's see what will happen by Thursday. Okay, that is your lab day. That is the project you have to create by using Spring Boot. Okay, by Thursday morning, I want to start HTML front end. Thursday and Friday, we can discuss both HTML and CSS. Okay, that's our main agenda. Yeah. Okay. Do want what to do now? If you are having any doubts, you can ask me now. We are having a lot of time. It's 12:40 only. If you have any doubts now, you can ask me now. You can start the project now only. Okay, start the project, complete the project. Okay, start doing. If you are stuck up at any point, if you are having any error, any new error, okay, please ping me in WhatsApp or call me.
Sir, I want to know one thing.
Yes, Priyanshu.
Sir, do you have any information regarding to our interim assessment or
No,
our
Priyanshu.
any placements?
No, as of now, no.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Actually, you guys are BCA, na? Most of the people are. How many of BCA guys are there? Any BTech? I know about the second batch. I know the qualifications of second batch people, but the first batch can. Most of the people are from BCA only, right?
Yes, sir. Most of the
Mm.
papers.
Mm. Actually, we are having only the requirement for BTech and MCA right now. I think so. So that's why we are unable to do anything. Okay. So actually, do you know Frontlines Media? Anybody? Frontlines Media. Hindu Priya knows that. I know. I know. You know. Frontlines Media. Okay. Actually, Frontline Media is one of the most popular job seeking platform. Okay. So type Frontlines Media. Actually, Frontlines Media is a one Instagram page, but they designed the Frontline Media as a one website for the jobs, job notifications and everything. Okay, so fresher jobs and all. If you are a fresher, okay, if you want to, okay, apply for any pool campus drives, okay, so you can go for this fresher jobs in the Frontlines Media. Okay, it has large number of opportunities. Okay, I don't want any notifications. We don't want any course because we are already a professionals. This type. Hmm. Now you can scroll down. Here you can see DXC Technologies is hiring. Okay, you can click on this. Okay, see bachelor's degree or equivalent to combination of education. Okay, so bachelor's degree is eligible. Now you can click here. Associate business process. Okay, this is all the only fresher recruitment. Okay, okay, Bangalore fresher to 1.5 years of experience. Any graduate mandatory skills. Let me check the mandatory skills. Okay, I think this is a quite supporting type of thing. This is last date 25/10. Can't we apply now? Work day. Okay, so go to this Frontline website, Frontline Media. Okay. Okay, I think you have to create the account and so on. So, okay, not only DXC, you have so many opportunities here in the Frontlines Media. You can see, you can go through this website for the fresher jobs. Okay, see, so many companies are there. TCS, NQT, Ford, Seat, Cisco. Okay, you have so many opportunities. Go through the latest one, November 2. It is posted on November 2. Go through the latest ones. Deloitte is hiring associate analyst. Deloitte is one of the greatest company in India. Bachelor's degree is eligible. Deloitte Hyderabad location is awesome. Okay, the one of the largest companies in the Hyderabad is Deloitte. Okay, so you can search for Deloitte Hyderabad. It is very, very, very large one. Okay, so if you have a chance to work in the Deloitte, better to work in Hyderabad location. You will have a very beautiful sites there. Okay, apply for this Deloitte bachelor degree. Hmm. I think you need some attention. Okay, okay. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. Okay, for 2 weeks once every 3 months. 3 a.m. shift. Okay, okay. So you have to work with this particular shift for 2 weeks for once in 3 months. Okay, that's okay. Adjustable, not a matter. Okay, apply for this Deloitte now. Apply here. Yes, again you need to create a profile in the Deloitte platform. Better to create the profile here. Okay, I will send this Frontlines Media link to you. Not only Deloitte, you will get all these things. Fresher, Frontlines Media. Okay, please go regularly. Every day you can visit Frontlines Media website. Okay, maybe they will post every day. Okay. Apply for every damn job which is eligible to you. Hey, come on down. Make your resume ready. That is the main part. Your resume is important to shortlist. Okay. Use all the available keywords. Okay. Mention your project, your sprint one project there. Okay. So mention any kind of project that you created with Java, and better to use all the keywords like JPA, okay, Hibernate, Lombok, MVC architecture, Maven application. Okay, try to use these keywords in your resume, which will add a lot of weightage to you. Come on. Sorry. Okay, please check the Frontlines Media for every day, or at least for every 2 days you have to check particular that. Okay, then you will get a proper notifications from Frontlines Media about fresher jobs. Okay, Priyanshu and everyone apply for that. Okay, there is a lot of opportunity for graduates also. Okay, but there is no proper placement for BCA or BSc guys from Manadip. Okay, so that's why uh, no one is posting about. Okay, I will let you know if I got anything. Okay, as of
Okay,
now,
sir.
go through the Frontlines Media. Okay, and if you are confused how to add your project, okay, do message. I will send the paragraph how you can attach the project in your resume. Okay, so that you can go through it. Okay, anything to ask, guys? Divya, Rupa, any doubts?